Cassie currently owns a spa and has been a massage therapist for over 6 years. She has found a way to balance her passion for helping people in pain with marketing and business. She volunteers, hangs with her husband and dogs, attending Des Moines events. Please welcome Cassie.
Hello, I pretended you were all just yelling and cheering for me earlier. I've been a massage therapist for 6 years, and my favorite part of my job is helping people who are in pain. And one of the most common causes of pain that I see at the spa are trigger points. Now, I need to be clear, I'm not a doctor, I can't prescribe, I can't diagnose, and there are a lot of causes of pain, and some of them are very serious that you should have checked out, but I can provide education, and today I'm talking about trigger points. People call them knots. So they come into the spa all the time and say, my back is so knotted up, or I've got a giant knot in my shoulder, and a lot of you have probably said this. The knots can be as small as a grain of rice or larger like a marble or a pebble. The most fascinating thing to me about these trigger points is that they can refer, or trigger, hence the name, pain to other areas of the body, sometimes pretty far away from the actual trigger point. So today I want to help you be able to find a trigger point, and what I want you to do, reach up to your jaw and apply some pressure. Some of you might notice tension when you do that, and if you are noticing some tension or tenderness there, what could be happening is you could be activating a trigger point. I bet you didn't all come here tonight saying, oh my gosh, my jaw is just killing me. But the point with the trigger points is that they can refer pain in other areas. So you'll see charts in this presentation. The red dots on all my charts mean common places where you'll find trigger points, and the other colored areas are places where they can refer pain. So if you're getting headaches up here, possibly one cause could be trigger points in your jaw. Other causes of trigger points that we see all the time, poor posture. If your workstation looks kind of like ours at the spa, it's not set up very well. For every inch that your head tilts forward, which is really common with laptops or monitors that are too low, you're adding 10 pounds of extra strain on your neck. Repetitive motion like texting, and let's be honest, there's really no good form if you're texting all day, can cause trigger point right here. Acute injuries, slip and fall, sports, sleeping funny, it's really hard to say what caused a specific trigger point. There's a lot of things that over time can build up. The area that people most often complain about are trigger points in their upper traps and then around the shoulder blade. And you can tell that these trigger points, while causing pain in the shoulder, can also cause that tension in the base of the skull that a lot of us feel. We make a lot of money off of that pain that people have. Can also cause headaches in the temples. A lot of ways to treat trigger points, but what I feel is the most effective is to sustain pressure right on that trigger point for about 7 seconds. And the appropriate working pressure is about a 7 out of 10 on a pain scale. So what that should feel like is right at the verge of good hurt. And we kind of all know, oh, that hurts so good. That's kind of the point there. A lot of people come into the spa and they'll say, I didn't even know I hurt there. Well, that's because what we're doing when we do these massages is we're activating trigger points. You might come in for a headache, so you've got pain somewhere else, but we're activating trigger points in your upper back and shoulders. You should always tell a massage therapist, or if you're lucky enough to have a spouse or friend help you with your knots, if they're pushing too hard or not hard enough. And we can work as deep as you need us to. We can even use our feet to do massage therapy and hang from the ceiling. This is true. My husband put the bars in. So, as I said, that trigger points can refer pain pretty far away from the source. One of the most fascinating areas are trigger points in the muscles of the glute and this little muscle called the piriformis. You've got a sciatic nerve running through there, lots of blood. Trigger points in those areas can actually refer pain all the way down the legs and sometimes even into the feet. This is really important to know because if you're coming in constantly complaining of leg pain and we're not actually examining what could be the source of the pain, which is right here, and we're only treating the leg pain, you might not get better. It's also important for us to educate our clients about this so they don't come in saying their calf hurts and we go right to their glute and they think we're creepy. So, other areas where it can refer kind of far, pain that radiates down the arms into the wrists, forearms, hands. A lot of people, especially at desk jobs, complain of numbness. There's a lot of possible causes and some are pretty serious, but one possible cause could be trigger points in the scalene muscles on the side of the neck that are causing tightness and restricting messages from the nerves and blood flow. So again, just like with the legs, if that's where your pain is, and we're only treating the pain, we might not be actually getting to the source of the pain to affect good positive change. So I had this really great opportunity a while ago where I used to go a couple times a month to a business where all of the employees were sign language interpreters, and they spent their days holding their arms up in front of a computer monitor interpreting phone calls for people who are deaf over and over and over. So it's a small motion, but it really adds up over time. And I brought my massage chair, and the interesting thing was, because they were doing the same thing all day long, they had the same trigger points causing the same referral pain patterns. It was good for them because they were able to stay healthy and continue to do a job they loved, and some of them had family members who were deaf, so they had to go home and sign too. But it's good for the employers too, because anyone who employs people knows work comp claims are not great, and it's important to keep your employees happy and productive. Self-care is great for trigger points. We use tools like a back knobber and a Theracane. This is great. You can order them online. You can apply a really good pressure to the hard to reach areas, like right in the shoulder blades. Ice is good if you've got some angry trigger points flaring up, or if you've had trigger point therapy from a doctor or a massage therapist. It's just good at the end of therapy. Topical pain relievers like BioFreeze can also help with trigger points, but of course I'm a big fan of professional therapy for trigger point care. But today, I thank you all for listening. I hope you learned something about trigger points. And remember, I'm not a doctor. There are a lot of causes of pain, and trigger points are just one of them. But I hope I helped you learn to untie some of your knots. And the most important thing I want you to take from today is the site of your pain isn't always the source. Thank you.